Who told you how to turn it on? Hit the green button. Okay.
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you feel part of. Every mountain, sea, and shore, you can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever and ever.
All right, thank you, Paulette. That was sweet. You got me on, Steve. Steve, hello, Steve. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. You know, I love that song because I was thinking about, like, in Unity, we talk about, you know, having clear thinking if we're in line with that divine within us, right? We can see through any situation. It's clarity, knowing that there's this one presence, one power, one energy, one life moving in through us and everyone. And I see it in all of you as you sit out there today. So anyway, I want to welcome those that are watching us via the computer, internet, I don't know, whatever, however you're reaching us. We're just delighted that you're part of us today. So I welcome all of you. So let's just take a moment, kind of turn within and allow ourselves to feel the energy in this beautiful space that we call Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center. We realize and know without a doubt that how blessed we are to have this beautiful space to come and share the truth that sets us free. And so we begin to feel within ourselves the joy. We begin to feel within ourselves the friendships and the energy that we share with us in harmony and peace and love. That's why this is a spiritual center. So we are grateful, sweet Spirit, for allowing us to feel that presence through each of us. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. And for those of you that can come and visit our spiritual center, we know when you walk through those doors, you will feel welcomed into this place of love and acceptance. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter. We're all one in spirit. And so it is. All right, we're going to actually sing our opening song, which I actually skipped right over. And we're going to do I Am the Place Where God Shows Up. And we all know this. If you'd like to stand, please do. And if not, that's okay too. You can sing from sitting down position. place that God shows up, so is everybody else. So let us take time to just say that the Christ in me greets you. The Christ in me greets the Christ in you. Christ in me greets the Christ in you. The Christ in me greets the Christ in you. The Christ in me greets the Christ in you. The Christ in me greets the Christ in you. And remember, in unity, what that means, I honor the fact that I see you as the presence of God in the world. Woo! One more song before you sit down. But if you need to sit down, please do. We're going to do Open My Eyes That I May See. Doesn't that song make you just want to like sway? I can't not do that. Woo. It's funny. So here we are, beautiful Sunday in Williamsburg, Virginia, all gathered here at Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center. And like I said, when you walk through the door, I hope you sense the love and the connection that we have with one another. And if you walk in and you're new, I'm going to guarantee you're going to be shifted and changed. And because we're going to love you, and we're going to see that essence of God as you. And how many times does that ever happen in our life when somebody can look at us and go, you're God in expression. Yeah, your love in expression, your wisdom, your joy. Yeah, that's what we talk about around here. So we have an affirmation that talks about Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center and what we are all about. So let us all say this together. Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center is a radiant center, life, light, and love. We are a thriving, prosperous, spiritual community that honors the divine presence in all and celebrates our oneness through loving service in our community. Yeah, I think that kind of says it, don't you? Yeah. Let us say together then the beautiful, beautiful Lord's Prayer, those beautiful words that have been said for a very long time. Do we have it in the wrong order? Okay, here we go. Let's say this together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And Steve's going to line up the next song for us. And when the Lord's Prayer, I know once a month we do a different Lord's Prayer at the first Sunday of the month. But you know what I like about it? I like the fact that the words of the Lord's Prayer have been said for so long, millennial time. And it's just part of our consciousness blending with all of those people who lifted their voices in saying that prayer. There's something about that that feels really sacred to me. All right, in the silence, we haven't done this one for a while, so if you'd like to stand and sing this, we would invite you to do so. So as we kind of think about that song in the silence, where we turn within and find that space within us that is just a place where we can take a breath, where we feel secure, we feel safe. And in that consciousness, let us bring to mind anything that we would like to hold in prayer this morning. Any body, any circumstance, any situation, any joy, any celebration. What is on your heart to hold in prayer this morning? And I always like to cup my hand and just think that everything is sitting in there, We could certainly continue to pray for situations around our world. But then there's so many things on our heart individually that we would love to hold and surround in that peace and love and truth. Yeah. And if you want, you can take that in your hand and hold it up to your heart as we say our beautiful prayer together. As we center ourselves in the one presence and one power, we realize that our thoughts have the power to heal and bless. We send them out now carrying peace, joy, and life to situations and celebrations that we hold in our hearts. Thought by thought and prayer by prayer, we transform the world. Amen. So think of that. No names need to be said. Nobody has to know all the details of a situation. And we lift it up. We lift it up in our hearts. All right. Okay, Mimi, it's your turn. She's going to come up and do our daily word, read our scripture, and all kinds of stuff. So, thank you, Mimi.
Thanks, Jenny. Thanks for the opportunity to be of service. So our daily word affirmation is more of a phrase than a word. Let go and let God. And I'll say the phrase and you can repeat it with me. I bless myself when I let go and let God. I bless myself when I let go and let God. If I find myself ruminating over a concern or a weighty decision, I release its grip on my attention by letting go and letting God. When I let go, I am placing my trust in divine mind, the source of infinite potential. I believe there are solutions and remedies of which my limited human mind simply cannot conceive. When I let God, I am trusting the grace of God will bless my life in the most wondrous and even surprising ways. Letting go and letting God is how I live my faith. I surrender to spiritual truth, the presence and power of God, and believe the best outcome is going to be so much better than anything I can imagine. I affirm, I let go and let God and relax into knowing I am deeply loved and abundantly blessed. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. And that's from John 14:1. A further scripture, Proverbs 3:13-18. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding, for the gain from her is better than gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. I also have the pleasure of introducing our speaker, Reverend Ruth Littlejohn. Reverend Ruth Littlejohn is an ordained religious science minister with Centers for Spiritual Living. Her vision is to communicate, facilitate, and inspire wholeness for herself and others. This vision propelled Reverend Ruth to move from Columbia, Maryland to Virginia Beach, where she founded Hampton Roads Center for Spiritual Living, a Science of Mind community. The center provided spiritual tools and principles for transforming lives and is now known as the Agape East Spiritual Center and led by Reverend Victoria Thomas. Prior to relocating to Virginia Beach, Reverend Ruth worked as an independent organizational consultant and executive coach and served in leadership positions in several Fortune 500 companies and educational institutions. Her educational background includes 3 master's degrees, a master's in consciousness studies from Holmes Institute, master's in human resource development from American University, a master's in administration and supervision from Lehigh University, and an undergrad in sociology from Norfolk State University. Currently, Reverend Ruth continues to live her vision through Ruth Littlejohn, LLC, where she provides coaching, Affinity Group facilitation for Black, Indigenous, and people of color, women, and she partners with Reverend Champion Fleming, who facilitates Affinity Groups for white women and non-binary folks. And I give you Reverend Ruth. Hey.
It's green.
You got it.
Thank you, Mimi. Good morning. Thank you for having me. And really, thank you. I know what it takes. Who has to show up early in the morning, open the door, feed the birds, and do all of that work. So just grateful for Stan and everyone who shows up here to make this work. And to Reverend Jenny, we've been in contact since I first came to this area. So just an opportunity to ride up with her this morning and to connect. And I'm going to reflect on my notes because I see you guys could be here all day, and I don't think we know each other that well yet, right? So I want to use my notes to make sure that I stay on target. And before I start, I always like to bring my ancestors in. And the reason I do that is because there is sometimes, you know how you show up and you think you got here on your own? And I'm clear that's not true for me. And so I always like to presence my ancestors wherever I'm going because I know I stand on their shoulders. And so this morning I simply acknowledged my enslaved ancestor, Peter and Elsie Littlejohn, my grandparents, Johnson and Elizabeth Littlejohn, and my mother, Hazel Littlejohn Haley Moore, and the men who served as male role models in my life would be James Haley, Andrew Creighton, and Curtis Moore. So I stand here this morning because those people stepped forth so that I could be present and that I could expand and learn and get all those degrees and do all that other crazy stuff I've done over my life. So for them, I'm grateful. And I always like to do it because I think it sort of says to them, I hear you, I appreciate you. I know that you see who I am being as I move through the world. So I wanted to do that. Now, Mimi talked about my vision, and I always like to put that out there so you get a sense of who I am and why I do what I do. And I do see my mission on this universe, why I'm here, is really to facilitate and communicate wholeness for myself and for others. So really helping us to look at how can we use all of who we are? How can we be more inclusive? So that's the wholeness. So I'm always looking for ways to do that. And so one of the ways I'm doing it this morning is, let me just see what I'm guided to do here. Well, sometimes one of the ways I do it is I think that when you and I show up in the world, we, for those of us who look at the news and read the newspaper and all of that, we're sort of like this sometimes, you know, just like that. And so I usually like to help us do what I call some somatic practices. And one that I like to use is the butterfly hug. And it really is just taking your hands and just patting yourself up here. And for some people, just patting yourself on your knees. It's another way of saying, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let me be grounded here. Let go and let God. Because our systems, I always think of our systems as, I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a golf ball. Yep. If you ever look at it, it's like rubber like this. And I think sometimes you and I are like this because we live in this world and we listen to the news and we read things and we hear things. And so those kinds of things is just another way of saying, let go and let God. Let me be fully grounded and present here this morning in this space with these amazing divine spiritual beings. And so that is just another way of grounding ourselves. So I usually like to do that. Sometimes I do the one where we own together because something happens in our body when that own goes through. I think I'm not supposed to be doing that. I got it. So that's one of the things that I do. My topic this morning is really looking at how we can increase our wisdom quota. How can we use more of our intuition? So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. And my intention for sharing this is I wanted to share some tools. How do we do this? And the practice. How do I practice? How do I get it going? And then ultimately, what I call, it sort of aligns with your fifth principle. How can I live it? So we're looking at the practices, the tools, and the call to action. And so I'm going to do all of that in 15 minutes, I promise you. I promise you that. First of all, I'd always like to start off with the definition of intuition. It is God in man. It is that voice that's revealing to you and I the way of being, the way of doing. It's a silent voice within. And really, it's not even a voice. Sometimes it's sort of like a motion or a feeling that we get when we talk about intuition. The thing that I want to say that it's not, if you hear somebody saying you ought, should, that's not it. I just want to be clear. You know how somebody get, you should do it, that's not our intuition. But just being present to that feeling of a nudging that we have. So that's what I mean when I talk about intuition. And the thing that I know is that it's not in some of us, it is in all of us. We all came with it in us. I always say it's like our cell phone. You know, I have these cell phones. I don't know about you. I have more apps on here. I have most of them. I don't know what to do with them. All right, but they're here. And so many of us, I know all of us came here with that app called intuition. And so our whole question is, how can I use it more? And that's what I want to put emphasis on today. How can I use it more? And you want to say, well, why now, Ruth? Why? After you and I call it the BP, before the pandemic, and AD, after the pandemic. Yeah. So after the pandemic, I think our world has shifted so many things have changed. It was feeling like I just, those logics, I used to be able to be very logical, and I could make things work, but that doesn't work anymore. I needed some new tools, some new technology. And the good news is that all of us are wired with intuition. So we have that app already. So our charge this morning is, can I activate it? We can have lots, I don't know about you, can have lots of apps on here, but if you never activate it, it's just another app. And so what we know is, I'm sure your principals tell you, that we all came with some app. And we have the app of joy, of love, of peace, of wholeness. I mean, that's built within us. The question is whether you and I choose to activate it and to use it. And so this morning I want to spend some time really talking about activating that intuition where it lives in all of us. Now, I know you guys are at Unity and New Thought, so you know what it is, and you use it. And my question is, how can we increase the use of it? You know how sometimes that was good. I follow my intuition, that worked. And the next time we go back to, oh my God, how's this going? We go back to gripping and fear, and I wonder, and procrastinating. And so the question is, how can we up the use of that intuition? How can we move past using our five senses, which serves us well? But in this day and time, I need more. I need more of my intuition in order to help me move through this experience that you and I are going through right now, which is a part of our lives. And so one of the things about the pandemic, it really helped us look at technology. I was back there looking at your media center. Now, I don't know if you had that before the pandemic, but I'm just saying, this is what the pandemic brought. It brought media, it brought new technology. That technology has always been around, but the question is, have we always been willing to use it? And so I wanted us to think about how those of us, look like most of us are in my age group. I was born, it started with a 4-4. That's the year I was in. So some of you know that, right? So I think we're sort of in the same group. And if I look at the technology that we experience, let's look at where we remember. How many of you remember whiteout? Whiteout? The technology, remember technology, whiteout? Yep. Whiteout. Carbon paper. Carbon paper, yep. Party line. Just checking. Party line. Penny candy. Yeah. All of those things were things that we've experienced. And how many of you remember when we had 3 TV stations? And then when Walter Cronkite said that's the way it is, we took it as gospel. That's what we've come from. That's no longer true. I don't know how many channels we have on our TV right now, and it's streaming, and it's Hulu, I'm like, let's just give me 3. Just give me 3, it's all I can handle. But things have changed. Technology has changed. And so what I'm saying to us, let us relook at our own technology, and how we can upgrade our own technology and use it more effectively. And so how can we use that app that we came with called intuition? How can I use it more frequently? How can it be my safety catch? To let go of some of the frustration of procrastinating and not quite sure how to do it. So that's what I'd like for us to focus on. So how do we get started on this? How do we get started with using our intuition more? I would say the secret is trust. Trust. Because what we're really saying is, I'm having a thought. Do I trust myself to believe that this thought that I'm having is the one that I should follow? So it really is about trusting ourselves. And so how do we do that? How can we talk about trusting ourselves it really is looking at, you know how we always talk about how we trust other people, but this is about you and me. How do I trust myself? What is my trust level? And so one of the things I always say is to look at how often do I say I'm going to do something for Ruth Littlejohn, and how often do I do it? Or how often do I put it off, delay it, procrastinate, or I'll do it for somebody else. And so the whole thing here around being able to use our intuition is how much do I trust myself? That's the trust. How much do I trust myself? Because when you and I trust ourselves more, then we're going to be moving on with our intuition. Oh, God, I got that hit. I got that hit. Yeah. And so that's the place. And this is something we can do. You don't have to, there's not a coupon. You don't have to sign up for anything. We all have all of these skills. We were born with all of this. And so that's the place that I want us to start. So the question is, are we ready to transform? Are we ready to use our intuition more? And maybe you're not. I don't know. Maybe you're saving it for something. I don't know. Maybe you want to leave it to somebody in your will. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. But this is the question. Are you ready to do that? And so that's the focus this morning. It's really looking at, are we ready to do that? Now, I'm not saying don't use our five senses. I'm saying how can we use more of it? And certainly in your 5 principles of unity, the one that I really, really resonate with is number 5. How can we live it? How can we be in action? And so that's going to be our focus. I'm going to start talking about what are some tools that will allow us to embrace more of our intuition. What are some practices to allow you and I to increase our trust factor? And the last are calls to action. So that's our focus. So when I talk about trusting myself, if you were going to do that, the thing you want to do is to start to ask yourself, if I was going to list my percentage of time that I do for myself, the things that I say I'm going to do I do it 30% of the time, 20, 40, 50, 60? So that's our trust factor. How often do I do for myself the things I say I'm going to do? Now, the reason I'm going there, because I have no doubt that each of you do what you're going to say you're going to do for other people all the time, because that's just who we are. We're here about serving. But we're asking now about ourselves. You know that to-do list we have? Might have been curled. It might be a little yellow. I don't know. I'm just saying. But all those things you say, I'm going to do this tomorrow for myself. I'm going to call this. Or I'm going to do this exercise. I'm going to read this. Or I'm going to buy this. Or I'm going to take time to just be quiet. Or I'm going to write. I'm going to journal. Whatever it is. So that's the first place, is just start to think about, okay, let me see, if I was giving myself a score, what would be my score? How much I am of integrity with myself. What is your integrity score? So that's the first place. Now you don't have to pass these in, there'll be no scoring. But it's just something that you want to do. Because we know in order for you and I to trust our intuition, we've got to trust ourselves. And is my time up already? Was that 15 minutes? Wow. Okay, I'm slow. Okay. So that's the first thing. What is your assessment of how well you do what you say you're going to do? And then when we do it, what is our self-talk? How do we talk to ourselves? You know, some of us, God, I didn't do this again today. It's only been a month. Oh, I'm just such a horrible person. I'm just so tired, I'll never do it. So what is your self-talk? You want to look at your self-talk, because you're going to have to change that too. Yes, I said I was going to walk around the block. I didn't do it today, and I will do it tomorrow. That's different than beating myself up. So this is, again, building that strength. We're really building the muscle called trust myself. And so that's one of the pieces that we do. And so we always want to find ways to start to get comfortable with this. I don't know about you. I am one of those control freaks. You probably noticed that already, right? You know how we got it? I can do it better because I know I'm smart. I can do it. I'm controlled. And so many of what I find about myself is that I feel uncomfortable trusting my intuition is because I could look bad, you know? And it's hard to tell somebody, I'm doing this because I was guided. They started, oh my God, we probably need to put her away. So a lot of times our resistance to intuition is because it's not logical. We can't explain it to people so they can get on board. Because otherwise they'll be, oh, well, maybe we need to take her in. But what we're saying here is they're willing to feel uncomfortable. So I had to get okay with feeling uncomfortable when people started to look at me. Well, we always knew she was strange. I don't know why she's doing that. But that's one of the reasons why I have resisted using my intuition. The other is it's not logical. I can't explain to people that I was taking a shower this morning, the topic I had changed. I mean, they want to put me away. So these are things that stop me from doing it. It's not logical. It's hard to explain to people. So my example is that when I finished ministerial school, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I started doing some visioning with a person for about 3 months. And we visioned like what was I to do with my life? What did I need to stop doing? What did I need to start doing? What skills did I have? And over the period of time, she kept saying, well, I keep seeing an ARE and a light and water around you. And she kept, every time we together, she'd say that. And I'm like, I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I left Norfolk, Virginia when I was 15 years old. So the idea that going to Virginia Beach was not high on my list, let me just say. I love my family, but it wasn't high on my list. So after about 4 months, she says, Reverend Ruth, I think it's Virginia Beach. You know, you want to be in control. So I was resisting. Finally, when I let go and used that visioning, which is another way of getting in touch with our intuition, I did show up here in Virginia Beach to start a spiritual center, Hampton Roads Center for Spiritual Living that Mimi talked about. But can you see how that was not logical? Can you see there was no logic there? I couldn't even explain to people, you know, I'm going because I'm divinely guided. You know, because they put people away for that sometimes. Yeah. So all I'm saying is when we use that vision, it works out. So that was one of my probably biggest leaps in really following my intuition. I trusted my intuition, that trust piece. And so that's the piece that I'm saying that's so important. So the question this morning is, are you willing to trust your intuition? Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to use the tools? Because some of us, we've got to relearn. You know how that relearning thing happens? And so for me, relearning was affirmation. So my new affirmation is I honor the messages I received from the universe as I'm highly intuitive now. So I had to have an affirmation. Put it on my mirror beside the one that Mary J. Blige has one called Good Morning Gorgeous. I now add that one. It's always nice to say it in the morning. Good morning, gorgeous. And then, so I had to affirm in order to change that. I had to meditate to get focus. I had to do treatment, prayer in unity to expand my understanding. I had to do some visioning. I had to release things. And I had to get support. I got support through, in Science of Mind, we use practitioners. Here you use prayer chaplains. Support, because sometimes it's so overwhelming, you need somebody who can hold your hand and hold you accountable while you get some strength in that. So that's the piece. So my intention this morning was really for you and I to really look at how we are set up, how this new technology can be used so that we can use more of our intuition, so we can move through this world in a powerful way, using tools that allow you and I to be flexible, to be open, and to move forward. And that's our intuition that we all have. So my goal was to share tools, affirmation, prayer, practice, the practice of checking with yourself. Where am I in my trust factor with myself? And how can I build that up? And I leave you with the last one, which is call to action. What is the impact of you moving to using more of your intuition in your life? How will that impact you, your family, the center, and the country? That's what we're called to do, to use our intuition to make a difference. that is the technology that you and I have that we can use. So it's been my pleasure to spend this time with you. Hopefully you'll go out and do the practice and use your intuition and use that call to action, that fifth principle, to really do something with it. And so as I close, a couple of affirmations. I honor the message I received from the universe, as I am a highly intuitive person now. I'm activating a deep listening and trust in my intuition now. Got it? Makes sense? Like mud? Clear? So thank you for exploring it and seeing what's possible. Because it's exciting. And it's a little like this too. It's that way too. So let us close by knowing we'll be in action. And let us close with meditation. Really to give it thought. What am I willing to do based on what that crazy lady said this morning? What am I willing to do? How does it settle with me? So let's take a moment to go inward. So we just bless for this moment of silence as we go inward to see what works for me, what spoke to me. What am I willing to do to make a difference? Knowing that our time together this morning has already been blessed. That these divine spiritual being, all that need to be said, shared, it's already done. And whatever technology we choose to use is divinely guided. So for this and so much more, I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you for this golden opportunity. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the leadership of Reverend Jenny and Reverend Denise. And for all the people who show up here to make this a spiritual center that makes a difference. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Ruth. Woo.
Thank you.
All right, so a lot of things to think about. Thank you for all the little, the steps and the, ways of moving through and being more awake to our intuition. So yeah, Reverend Ruth we do go way back. I was just sitting there when I was listening to you. I was thinking about when I went to your ordination. How long ago was that? Okay, 2013. So yeah, we kind of go back a little ways, and I've had the honor of talking at her center when she was active there, and yeah, just a lot of good things. So she's a blessing to this world. So thank you so much. Yeah. All right. So now we have an opportunity now to have Paulette sing us a very special song.
This was recorded by Shirley Horn and Barbara Streisand and some others as well. It's called Here's to Life. No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you got. I had my share, I drank my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill and do it all again. So here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life, the dreamers and their dreams. Funny how the time just flies, how love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes, and leave you with the memories you memorized to keep your winters warm. is no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I wanna play for laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life and dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. May all your storms be weathered and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you.
All right, thank you, Paulette. You know, that really went well with her talk.
Yeah.
Did you guys kind of get the connection there? How cool was that?
I
You all
tried.
didn't even talk. Yeah, that is so beautiful. Yeah. Here's to life, here's to love, and here's to you. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Cool. All right. So that beautiful idea of the dream and the dreamer too. I love that. You know, that thought. And that, I think when we follow our intuition, it really is that essence of that spiritual movement that says there's more for you to express in this world. There's more for you to do that. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right. This is our opportunity that we'd like to bless Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center with a little tithe or an offering. If you're here in the building, we have a little basket in the center, and if you're watching us on YouTube or wherever you find us, there's PayPal that you can bless. And we just know that, you know, we really do appreciate your giving. We are a prosperous community, and I know we have some things that we're talking about now about that prosperity, and you're a part of it because of your beautiful financial support of our space here. So we have a beautiful prayer called the Prayer of Plenty, and let us all say this together. In the infinity of this moment, all is perfect, whole, and complete. We acknowledge presence and power expressing through us, Unity Williams Spiritual Center, every moment of every day. We open our hearts to the wisdom and intelligence that exists in the universe and in our minds, through which all answers, resources, opportunities, solutions, creativity, and all healing comes. All doubt is released as we trust that our needs are being met in this moment. Divine order is unfolding for our highest good now. And so it is. Amen. So we got a little song we sing and kind of get into this consciousness of this, because we are so blessed. So
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. And I hope that if you're watching us, you feel that for yourself as we continue to know without a doubt that we are so blessed. Say it to yourself every single solitary day. I think Mimi's going to come up here. She's got a couple of announcements for us. And then we've got fellowship in the back, so come back and have some coffee with us. Yeah, we're blessed.
Hi again. Okay, announcements for Sunday, July 31st. Our board meeting follows our Sunday service today, so please join us. Throughout the summer, a variety of guest speakers will be gracing this platform. You won't want to miss any of our summer Sundays. And next Sunday, our guest speaker will be Reverend Richard Bunch, who was scheduled to be with us in June but wasn't able to be here. His talk is the Omega Point Just a Pipe Dream, with other insights into our spiritual evolution in order to bring about a world of peace and harmony. You won't want to miss it. This Tuesday evening at 6:30, please join us for the first Tuesday prayer, meditation, and healing service. It's a time to step away from the outer world into the inner world of peace and comfort that your soul yearns for. Flyers about First Tuesday are up front, as well as a flyer for the sensitive group gathering for August. Put those things on your calendar, and please feel free to join us and take a couple of flyers to share with others. Summer donations for Fish, the food pantry and clothing service serving the community since 1975. Any small travel-sized toiletries, dishwashing, and laundry detergent, preferably pods. There's a basket in the fellowship room that you can drop them in. Prayer boxes are available at the front of the sanctuary and on the table in the fellowship hall right over there. Please place your prayer requests in the box. They will be picked up by our chaplains, and prayer will begin immediately. The prayer chaplain today is Jane Siegel. She will be at the back of the sanctuary offering private prayers. And if you have a prayer request during the week, please email your request to our prayer chaplains at prayerunitywilliamsburg@gmail.com. Remember, all prayer requests are held in the strictest confidence by our prayer chaplains. We'd love to stay in touch, and so you can go to our website, unitywilliamsburg.org, and fill out the information to be on our mailing list and to receive our weekly update, which features upcoming events, guest speakers, and articles. If there is somebody who is visiting Unity Williamsburg online, because it looks like everybody's familiar faces here. If you're seeing us for the first time, please give us your contact info or go to unitywilliamsburg.com to sign up. Please join us in the fellowship room for fellowshipping after the service and grab a cup of coffee, a treat, and some wonderful conversation.
Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that. There is a shift for next Sunday. Reverend Richard Bunch won't be with us until September. So Sunday is actually Reverend Denise doing The Bible Tells Me So, and she's going to talk about couples therapy. Ooh, very interesting. So anyway, let's please come into the center here, and we'll say our peace song and our prayer for protection. And want to definitely thank our lovely guest minister today, Reverend Ruth, for being with us and giving us such a wonderful message. We appreciate that. All right. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am present. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And so as we begin to leave here today, I want to put Reverend Ruth in the center, and let's say a blessing for her for being here and sharing her beautiful message with us and her beautiful presence with us by saying, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate. Okay, you guys know it? Okay, I won't say it first. Here we go. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. Yes. There you go. So there you go. And I do have an announcement to make this morning. It's so interesting talking about intuition and following your intuition. So as of September the 11th, I am going to be leaving Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center to, I don't know what Spirit has in store, but boy, that nudging has been going on for months and months and months. So I finally surrendered and said, all right, I need to go ahead and make the shift. So Reverend Denise will be here, and we'll be blessing you all for a long time. So anyway, I just wanted to, because I know I've contacted the board, and I know the word will get out, and I just thought I want to tell you myself how much I love you guys. But I'm gonna be around for a little bit longer, so don't kick me out the door yet. No. But anyway, have a wonderful week and be that presence of love in the world.
Intuition in action, huh?